Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this Thursday morning, getting ready for a big weekend. Got Mother's Day weekend coming up, all kind of good things going on here in the Florida Panhandle. Let's get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Highway 7 and 7. It's going to get all the way up to 83 today, low of 70, pretty warm. Now, water temperature went up another degree, 82 degrees on the water temperature. Our river readings brought to us by Mountain Dew. Take it outside with Mountain Dew, and the hotter it's getting now, you're going to enjoy our ice cold Mountain Dew when you're out there up in one of them sloughs up off the river. Now, it's going to be the Appalachian Bluntstown 8.6, still got that steady drop. That's looking good. Choctaw Caribbean 5.4, and both rivers have a steady drop this morning, so this is good. Again, it's going to be a good weekend on the river. Just got to watch out. It'll be for the traffic. We're going to have a policeman out there directing traffic at the boat ramp. Somebody told me that last week. But anyway, the tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good strong tides, high today, right in the middle of the day, 12:29. Low at midnight, right at 12:01. So, and we've got that south-southeast wind coming in at 15, so it'll be pretty strong on that. That south-southeast is coming in. When it's coming in, it's sort of pushing up into the bay systems, Choctaw Bay and Apalachicola Bay on the northern side of the shoreline. And right here, flat dab in the middle of springtime, May. We talk about what a good month it is. I was thinking, I talk about how much we love springtime and fall and springtime is just, it's just sort of like the plants and the trees. It's a time of regeneration. You've been in the wintertime, and especially around here, we've had such a tough winter with the hurricane and all, and it's just been a hard time on everybody. But now we see the blooming and blossoming, and it's sort of, and personally, I always feel like springtime, we sort of bursting out as a human, our soul and all of this. I love getting in the outdoors. And then, of course, fall to me is always a time of reflection. You sort of reflected back on the spring and summer and sort of relaxing and all. So I guess maybe that's part of the reasons why I love those two seasons, spring and fall. That's enough about Winston's words of wisdom. I always tell my students when they did the internet, the www, it wasn't World Wide Web, it was Winston's words of wisdom. So I'm going to share some with you every now and then. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. I want to recognize, start the program off, I want to recognize the loss of one of our old-time pioneers in the fishing industry, Captain Feeney Whitfield. Now, I've known Captain Feeney Whitfield. I've known him a long time, and he's in my book. Here's a page right here out of my book. Here's a story. Captain Whitfield was just one of the old timers that helped the industry get started, and here the story's in the book if you want to read it. I won't read the whole thing to you, but he's a fascinating fellow, and I want to show you this picture here. I took one more picture. Don Morrell is captain of this boat, but I want you to show you the guys in it. You're talking about a who's who of our heritage. On that top left-hand corner, that's Grover Davis right there, then Joe Ed Davis, and then Feeney Whitfield right there in the center of the page. I would have loved to have been on that trip right there. But Captain Feeney, I interviewed him. I went over to his house I don't know how many times, and talked to him and all. I've got his voice on the interview, and like I say, if we ever get a museum, we'll put his picture in there with his voice. But he was a Korean War veteran, but he started off, I think, born in 1929, 28. And then he went to the Korean War, and he got a Purple Heart. He got hit with a machine gun fire in the abdomen and got a Purple Heart in the Korean War. But before that, during World War II, he was working in the fishing industry. And he started just like everybody else that became captains. He started out as a deckhand. Then he became a cook. Then he became a captain and worked with Anderson Fleet. He worked with the Captain Davis Fleet. Ended up with the Gemini Queen. One of his final boats was Gemini Queen, running that. And he was just such a gentleman, and he was always wanting to help people. I remember when I was talking to him, he wanted he really liked working with the deckhands because he had been a deckhand before. And now deckhands in those days, and it still is, was just a lot of hard work. I mean, you're helping people, pulling them a fish and all that, just hard work. And they taught he really enjoyed working with deckhands, and he was just a good man. It survived by his family members. One of his family members, and I don't want to list all of them because I can't remember all of them. But yesterday we talked about Brian Revere's on the show. Well, his granddaughter, Brian's wife, Carmen Revere, and I thought that was just fascinating. One more loss of that generation. I know the term "greatest generation" was used of World War II veterans, but if you use that term "greatest generation" here locally among the fishing industry, it'll be that generation there. So our condolences and hats off to the Captain Feeney Whitfield's family. Okay, I think I have one more. I got one more picture, Jeff. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull one more picture up of him. Check it out. There he is right there. There's Captain Feeney. Always smiling, always laughing. Okay, now let's go. One thing too. Let's go from the past into the present and talk about. I want to mention brim fishing. And because brim fishing is such a big deal right now, May and now we're talking about them spawning here in the month of May, and they'll spawn throughout the summer. But I think more are caught here. I know more are caught in April and May and June mainly because of the weather. More people are fishing then, but they're going into July also. But the thing about it, the brim and the moon has a lot of control of it, so we talk about that. But I was looking up, I want to just pull up some pictures. I've got them in here somewhere. Let me see. One of the things here, I just want to show you what we call a bluegill. And they're different subspecies and all. And that's what we call a hand size one there, and that's one underwater. And you see what they do? They'll fan out the bed. They'll fan out that sand, and then they'll lay eggs in it, okay? You see the bluegill itself right there. That's what I call bluegills. And we just have a bunch of them around here. And I mean, that is good eating. To me, that's my favorite size right there. What they call a hand size, and I like those small ones. Those real big ones, they're great for the pictures and all, but they're not all that good to eat to me, and especially in a pond or something. But when you fish for them in the early part of the spring, you want to sort of maybe get up in the sloughs. But as the water warms up and the air temperature warms up, it has a lot to do with the oxygen as far as in the water. So they're not going to be up in that, way up in the sloughs with that hot water in the summertime and all. In the springtime they are going to be. And really what you want to look for is a confluence where the water comes together and sort of stirs up and gets the oxygen going. As the summer wears on, you want to find more moving water. So this time of year, you sort of get up in those sloughs, on those beds and all, but then you work your way out to maybe not that deeper water, but also more flow going like that. Now, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. I'm going to show you the top 5 creeks in the Florida Panhandle, in Winston Chester's opinion, the top 5 creeks that we can catch some brim in, okay? So let's take this break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, and Jeff asked me during the break, and it's a very good, valid point. Have I taken those audio tapes and got them digitized and saved and all? And I have not, and we all need to do that. I was telling them that we all have those old VHS tapes, and we need to get all that stuff sort of updated and saved and get copies of it. I was telling them I've got some old 8mm that our high school football coach took of us playing, and I know they're burned by now, but so I can't show y'all how good I was or how bad it was. Let's get back to brim, okay? The top 5 creeks, in my opinion, I'm sort of places I fished and caught brim in. It's as simple as that. And I know there are other places, and I could probably list 20 of them. That's the thing about it. I think Florida has over 7,000 bodies of water, over 7,000. So that's just in Florida. Okay, now let's go. We'll start on the western end and work our way over here off the Choctahatchee. Just that Black Creek area, Mitchell River, that Black Creek, and the little tributaries off of it, going up there in the bunker and places like that. And we get a report a lot of times on that side of Choctahatchee from Larry Brown. Okay, so Black Creek area and the upper end of the Choctahatchee, Bunker Creek, and that area. Okay, so let's see. Then here, let's go over there toward the St. Joe area. You got Lake Wimico. Okay, but now this is Depot Creek right here. That's Highway 98 between St. Joe and, okay, that Depot Creek area, it is a really good area. It's easy to get to, and then of course going out Lake Wimico, you got 2 or 3 tributaries coming off of it. So that's number 2, okay, Depot Creek. Now, okay, this place is special. We get to it. Now you can get to it over on the eastern side off Highway 65. That's the other side of the river. Now, what we can do, this is what we call Owl Creek, okay? This is just a cool creek, and you can see the roads go to the east side. But most of us on this side that's the Apalachicola River there, right there in the center, and we'll get to it and put in at Howard Creek or whatever, and just go down the creek and then go down the river and then go up the creek, and it's just, man, look at it. You almost see the brim right now in it. Okay, that's Owl Creek number 3. Okay, there's I zoomed in and made a better picture of it, and you can see like I say, you don't have to go way to the other side, but now that area is really good area all in there. That's just a second picture of Owl Creek. Okay, then the Holmes Creek area all around New Hope and all, it goes into the other side of the Choctawhatchee on this side of it, the Holmes Creek area. Now I've fished there less than other places, but I've had some family, friends and all that's fished there and done real well off the Holmes Creek area. And then my favorite, and they're not gonna, okay, this is, okay, up top right-hand corner is Hosford and Highway 20. So you go down 65 into the community of Telogia. We talk to people from Telogia all the time. And the Telogia Creek, okay, so I'm gonna show you where the Telogia Creek goes into the Ocklawaha River. There's a Whitehead place on those roads, a Whitehead Drive, and that's my granddad and all used to fish there. We'd go up this creek up here, but we fish the upper end of the Telogia, and it goes where it goes into the Ocklawaha. This is the lower end here, but we always fish the upper end, and that was the place I talk about all the time. So that's the top five places, okay? Top 5 creeks. Now a bunch of others, but that's the place we've caught them in. Now let's go from fishing into some other parts of there's so much going on. We want to try to get it all in today. Let's go to quota hunts. I want to bring the quota hunt permits up because this is May and this is when you apply for quota hunts. First of all, let's talk about St. Vincent National Wildlife Refuge. If you remember, we didn't get to go. I say we, the people that applied and had a quota hunt to go on a sandbar deer hunt. It was canceled because of Hurricane Michael. So this year it's going to be December the 5th through the 7th, and you can go ahead and apply, but they're going to honor the folks from last year who had a permit from last year. So if you had a permit last year and didn't get to go, you can go on it. It'll be the same situation first weekend of December, and I believe they're going to. I got to double check this. This is on a national. This is not state. They're going to also have some more openings for people maybe had canceled out or something because of the different conflicts. So be aware of that one. Now, the deer and hog permit, you want to apply between May 15th, which is next week now. So that's when you want to get your quota permits in, between May 15th and June 15th. I wrote all that down. You go to gooutdoorsflorida.com, gooutdoorsflorida.com, and all the information is on there. Alligator permits, okay? Florida started those alligator hunts in 1988. I was trying to remember when it was. It was 1988, and now they've kept the same date on it, which is interesting. I wish the saltwater fishing industry could do that, or commission could keep, and freshwater keep the same days. It starts on August the 15th, and it goes all the way to November 1st. I always remember August the 15th because that was always the first day of football practice when I was growing up. So August the 15th just still rings a bell with me. Okay, now, phase 1, you have that random drawing, and then it begins. The drawing is going to start on May 17th, okay? So you need to get it on in there. They're going to give out 6,000 permits this year. And I use that term loosely, give out. They're going to process 6,000 permits. Now get this, if you're a Florida resident, you're going to pay $272 for the right to hunt an alligator, okay? If you're non-state, if you're out of state and apply and get it, you're going to pay $1,022 to hunt an alligator. So that's a pretty good fundraiser right there. So the quota hunt permits, we want to make sure we get those taken care of if you're interested in it. All kind of special quota hunts throughout the state, but here in the Panhandle, you really want to check those out. The national ones, like at St. Vincent, and there's some special hunts too in there, and then the alligator permits. Okay, now I got a text from my buddy Victor Hathcote, and Victor hosted a show before. He's our South Walton connection over there, and Victor's a hard-working, good man, and loves outdoors. And yesterday I was talking about, or the day before yesterday, I was talking about these the straw rigs, the straws for talking about using paper instead of plastic. I went all the reasons for that. This is hard too. And he texted me back yesterday, what we're going to do about our straw rigs that we catch fish with. And I said, that's a valid point. Because you can't put paper on the hook, because remember the straw rigs, old McDonald's straws, where people first started putting some straw on the hook and catching fish and all. So I told him probably what we need to do is go ahead and just go get some plastic straws, just hold on to them and put them up on our tackle shelf, get those colorful ones, and just hold on to some of those old plastic straws, because these old plain white ones won't necessarily catch a fish. But that's a valid point. There's always going to be some casualties when you change lifestyles and all. So that's one of them. When you're doing paper, it's going to lose our straw rigs. All right, let's take our break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Let's take a look at our fishing game time, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 4:36 to 6:36 this morning, and 5:05 to 7:05 tonight. Okay, tomorrow is going to be a big day now, because we're going to recognize Mother's Day tomorrow, and we're going to give away a Mother's Day basket. It ain't going to be that big, but it's going to be a nice basket. Be the nicest basket we've ever given away here on Panhandle Outdoors. So be sure and be tuned into that tomorrow. Gail is going through the pickle jar and taking out all the male names. So in the pickle jar, we hopefully have all girl names in there. So we'll do our drawing for seafood and also drawing. So tomorrow will be a big day for Mother's Day drawing. Okay. Now, also, we talked about all the yellow flies, and we talked about these large balls that are black. They attract them. You got to stick your stuff on them. Over there in Walton County, you can get them for the mosquito control. They'll give them to you, okay? So call up the South Walton Mosquito Control District for a free ball kit to every household or business. That's good for y'all, South Walton. And then there's a natural way. Tired of crowded fishing spots, people crossing over your lines? Try the Razorback anti-fishing device. Reclaim that honey hole as your own while everyone else retires. That's funny, but don't really do that. I just thought that was a cute idea, using an airhead. What to do if a yellow fly bite, get out of yellow flies. You put cream on it 4 to 7 times a day. Apply a slice of onion to the bitten area. Apply tea tree oil. Rub a lemon on the affected area, or apply aloe vera. And if you got that plant, we have that aloe plant at the house. We've got several of them there. They grow proficiently. I'm all over. So you can apply that. That's natural treatment, right? I love natural treatments like that. So anyway, so far yesterday afternoon, I'm ahead 8-2. I keep score. I killed 8 yellow flies, but I got bit twice. So I'm ahead 8-2 in my big battle with the yellow flies. Okay, I've got several emails to read, but this is something I didn't get a picture of. When I go to all the banquets, Ducks Unlimited, NRA, CCA, QDMA. Did I leave out any? Anyway, I go to all of them. So Ducks Unlimited had theirs the other night up at Durbin White's place, and it was a big turnout. And they give you one ticket to go in, then you buy all kind of tickets as a fundraiser. And I usually buy tickets, but I got caught up talking to people, and and I just enjoy talking so much. I didn't get to buy any tickets to win things and all, because I got table fulls, which is rare. So I want to have one ticket. Well, guess what, folks? I won a gun with that one ticket. I won a nice Stevens 20 gauge pump. A solid black. It was an ideal gun to hunt quail with, and also that's the first gun I ever won. I was just tickled with it. And in fact, I didn't hear my number. Gail said, "That's your number." So it was really good. I was there with the C&G table with Ronnie and Jane and that group. It's always fun, and I encourage you to support these organizations who actually promote so many outdoor activities. Now, I've talked so much. I'm going to save this email for I've got two. I'll read this email tomorrow. Let me show this one right here. I want to show this one. Okay, check this out. Okay, great show this morning, Mr. Chester. As much as I enjoy the special guest, my favorite episodes are the ones where you share your wisdom in fishing, conservation, and the outdoors. This northerner has learned so much about how to fish Florida from watching your show. Keep up the good work. Here's my youngest, Lincoln, with a fine pompano from last week at St. George Island. Check this out. Look at that pompano. Okay, and thank you, thank you so much for that. That's funny because, ironically, on 2 days ago, I was doing a show. I love doing a solo, and I love having a guest, and I just love doing a show. But it's more of a challenge doing a solo show because it's just getting prepared and all. But the other day, Gail said, I think on Wednesday's show, she said, "Winston, you were talking too fast." And so I told Jeff at the end of the show, Gail said I was talking too fast. I told Jeff about it. He said you were. So here, everybody's against me. I'm just trying to do the best I can. But let me get a background on when I talk real fast. When I start talking real fast, that comes from my years in the classroom, where I've got that bell schedule, and I always wanted to finish because I always thought I had great information to share with the kids, and I think I have great information to share with you. So that comes from me trying to get all the information in before the bell rings or before Jeff starts holding up the fingers and all. So that's why if you ever catch me talking really fast like I'm doing now because I'm trying to get all the information in, or if you catch me sort of stuttering and that means I hadn't quite got it all together. So that's just the way I am. But I do appreciate that the information, the comment and compliment there. I consider that, and the feedback I get from you folks, I just love it. And don't be afraid if you don't like something, don't be afraid to tell me. If you do like something, please do tell me. And I thrive and feed off the feedback that you give us on this show. And I just feel very strong about all of us, you and I and all of our sponsors. We've got something special here. Jeff works hard, Gail works hard, and we all work hard to bring you the very best in outdoor stuff. So I want to thank y'all for watching like I always do. And our sponsor, we're getting all kinds of new sponsors coming on now. We only have a couple of spots left if you're interested in doing this. So we got all kinds of stuff going on. Also, I got one more thing here. I don't have time to get into it. I got another email, another good email. I'll read it tomorrow. But don't forget, tomorrow will be this Mother's Day giveaway. And I'm going to talk about mothers in general, and I have some special pictures. I'm going to show some pictures of my mom tomorrow, okay? That wraps it up for today. Thank y'all so much for watching. Do something good today for your fellow man. Enjoy our great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.